Hello, my name is Todd Hodge, and I'll be giving a presentation on distracted driving. The purpose of my speech is to persuade my audience to not get distracted while driving so that it will lower their chances of getting into a motor vehicle accident. Imagine that you are driving down the road on your way to work. You are driving about 55 miles an hour when you get a text. When you look down at your phone, you do not see the car ahead of you pull out into the roadway. By the time you notice the vehicle, it is too late, and you crash into the vehicle. According to the NHTSA, over 3,000 people were killed and over 300,000 injured in motor vehicle accidents conducted in the distracted driving study. At some point in time, all of us have driven a vehicle while distracted, either by cell phone, GPS, or by the radio. Today we will discuss the importance of not being distracted while driving. The three main topics that we will discuss are the decrease in reaction time due to distracted driving. Secondly, we'll discuss the danger of not having your eyes on the road due to distracted driving. And thirdly, we'll discuss the dangers of distracted driving due to people not being having their hands on the steering wheel. My main sources of information come from distraction.gov, edgarandsnyder.com, and ndd.org. According to distracteddriving.gov, in 2014, 3,179 people were killed and 431,000 were injured in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. The majority of the deaths were from distracted driving are teenagers. 11 teens die every day as a result of texting while driving. 10% of all drivers between the ages of 15 to 19 years old involved in fatal crashes were reported as distracted at the time of the crash. Teens account for the largest proportion of drivers who were distracted at the time of crashes. According to distraction.gov, when a person takes their eyes off the road while texting for 5 seconds while traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to cover a length of a football field. At any time, there are approximately 660,000 drivers using cell phones or manipulating electronic devices while driving, a number that has held steady since 2010. One reason that distracted driving is so dangerous is that it decreases your reaction time. According to a study conducted by Car and Driver magazine, using a cell phone to read or send text messages delays a driver's reaction time as much or more than the legal limit of a person that has consumed alcohol in driving. Drivers' typically reaction time will drive while driving between 1 and 2 seconds. That's the normal reaction time. Reaction times while texting, however, are at least 3 to 4 seconds. A few examples of types of distractions while driving are reading, listening to the radio, talking with passengers, GPS units, and cell phone use. We just discussed how distraction can reduce reaction time. Now we'll discuss distractions can affect keeping your eyes on the roadway. Another reason drivers are distracted is because they are not keeping their eyes on the roadway. The reason the majority of people do not keep their eyes on the road is due to texting, looking at their cell phone, or GPS devices. If you need to answer a text, email, or put something in GPS, it is best to pull over to the side of the road and wait to do it at a stoplight. Some other visual distractions that people may encounter are emergency vehicles, or wrecks on the side of the road, or billboards or pedestrians. Now, knowing how distraction can affect people's visual awareness on the roadway, now we will discuss the importance of keeping your hands on the steering wheel. The final reason why drivers get distracted is because their hands are not on the wheel. The reason why people take their hands off their wheel is due to texting, eating, and drinking. Eating should be done before and after driving, not during. Drinking and texting should be done at stoplights or pull to the side of the road if you can't wait. If you do have to text or enter something into GPS, it is best to use hands-free options, like most smartphones, or you can have a passenger do it for you. We have discussed how some options prevent a driver from taking their hands off the wheel. Today we have discussed how drivers' reaction time decreased due to distracted driving. We also discussed visual awareness and keeping their hands on the wheel as important. We also discussed ways to prevent the distracted driving. First, we learned how distracted driving can lower our reaction time while driving, and the distracted driving kills multiple people a day. Secondly, we discussed that distracted driving causes people to take their eyes off the road due to answer text and or manipulate information in the GPS. The third thing we discuss is how using a cell phone and GPS causes people to take their hands off the steering wheel due to texting. We have discussed how distracted driving is bad and unsafe for everyone. I hope that my presentation will help people realize the dangers of distracted driving, and that in the future they will take steps to prevent distracted driving, such as using hands-free devices, pulling over, or waiting for a red light. You can stop it.